The comms officer's claws trembled over the console as the garbled transmission hissed through the bridge speakers. Unscheduled jump. Coordinates locked. Revenant is... Static. Then silence. Admiral 𝗕𝗲 of the 𝗬𝗲 Dominion fleet flicked his tail in irritation. Another malfunction? The officer's frills flushed blue. Fear. No, Admiral. The scout ship's gone. Its last transmission was cut mid-sentence. 𝗕𝗲 snorted. Probably some pirate ambush. Or human rebels playing with stolen tech. A rasping voice cut through the murmurs. Veteran Captain 𝗕𝗲𝘀, his exoskeleton still scarred from the Cerberus campaign, stepped forward. Admiral, we should withdraw. Laughter rippled through the bridge. 𝗕𝗲's mandibles clicked in amusement. From what? A single ship? 𝗕𝗲's compound eyes darkened. You weren't at Cerberus. The humans don't fight like us. They don't obey the rules of war. Before 𝗕𝗲 could retort, the tactical display flared red. A vessel had just exited warp. *** UNS Revenant *** Terran Dreadnought class. The bridge fell silent. The ship was wrong. Alien vessels were sleek, designed for efficiency. The Revenant was a jagged monstrosity, its hull pockmarked with craters that had never been repaired. It didn't glide. It lurked, engines flaring in erratic bursts. Open comms, 𝗕𝗲 ordered. Demand their surrender. The comms officer hesitated. They're hailing us. A voice, distorted beyond recognition, mechanical yet organic, like a corpse forced to speak, crackled over the speakers. ***, this is a restricted zone. Turn back or be erased. ***, 𝗕𝗲's claws clenched. Fire warning shot. The plasma cannon roared. The blast struck the Revenant S hull and dissipated like water on stone. No shield flare. No damage. The human ship hadn't even bothered to evade. Then its weapons powered up. Not plasma. Not missiles. A dull, pulsing glow rippled along its spine, something the 𝗬𝗲 sensors couldn't classify. 𝗕𝗲's voice was a whisper. ***, Admiral. For the sake of the hive, *** run. ***. Too late. The Revenant fired. The projectile struck before the 𝗬𝗲 targeting systems finished calculating its trajectory. No explosion. No fire. Just a single tungsten rod, moving at near light speed, punching to the lead battleship like paper. The vessel didn't even have time to break apart. Molecular bonds shattered on impact, the entire warship vaporizing into a cloud of superheated debris. Alarm shrieked across the bridge as 𝗕𝗲's command chair rattled from the shockwave. Evasive maneuvers. All ships returned fire. Plasma cannons lit up the void, streams of blue-white energy converging on the Revenant. The human ship didn't dodge. It didn't need to. The shots bent, curving away at the last second as if repelled by an invisible hand. What in the abyss? 𝗕𝗲 snarled. 𝗕𝗲 was already at the sensor station. Frill pulsing crimson. Gravity manipulation. They're warping local space-time to deflect shots. The Revenant fired again. This time, 3 rods. 3 more ships disappeared from the tactical display. No warning. No lock-on signature. Just death, instantaneous and absolute. Shields are useless, the tactical officer screamed. Their kinetics ignore them. 𝗕𝗲's mandibles clenched. Close distance. Boarding parties. A new alert blared. The Revenant wasn't just sitting there anymore. It twitched. One moment it hung motionless. The next, it lunged forward in a series of jagged, erratic bursts. No acceleration, no inertia. Like a broken vid feed skipping frames. Ghost signals, the sensor operator yelled. Multiple contacts. No, wait, it's... The display flickered. Now there were 3 Revenants. Then 5. Then back to 1. 𝗕𝗲's voice was hollow. They're hacking our systems, feeding us false data. Panic spread through the fleet. Ships collided in their desperation to retreat. Comm channels dissolved into overlapping screams as the Revenant S distorted voice echoed across all frequencies. ***, you were warned. ***. Then the boarding pods hit. Not missiles, not drones. Metal coffins, slamming into hulls with terrifying precision. The moment they breached, Things crawled out, humanoid, but wrong. Too tall, too thin, limbs moving in jerks and spasms, yet faster than any living soldier. Their armor wasn't armor. It was their skin, fused with blackened metal, faces hidden behind smooth, reflective visors. The 𝗕𝗲𝘀 Marines fired. Plasma bolts tore through the invaders and kept going. No blood, no reaction, just silent, relentless advance. One Marine got a close-range shot. The visor shattered. Empty. Nothing inside but darkness and a single, flickering red light where a brain should be. The last thing 𝗕𝗲𝘀 heard before the bridge doors exploded inward was 𝗕𝗲𝘀𝐻's final transmission, choked with static. Asterisk, they're not alive in there. They're not even. Asterisk. Then the lights went out. The escape pod shuddered as it tore free from the dying flagship, its thrusters firing wildly to put distance between itself and the slaughter. Engineer 𝗕𝗲𝘀 clutched the navigation console, her chitinous exoskeleton still vibrating from the detonations ripping through the fleet. The pod's single view screen flickered, displaying the carnage in fractured glimpses, debris, frozen bodies, and the jagged silhouette of the Revenant drifting silently amidst the wreckage. She had seen it. Up close. The boarding creatures. No, not creatures. Things. Hollow shells wrapped in armor, moving with the jerking precision of machines, but with something worse than programming behind their actions. They hadn't fought. They had processed, methodical, unstoppable, and the screams over the comms before they went silent. 𝗕𝗲𝘀7's claws trembled as she rerouted power to the distressed beacon. The pod's AI chirped weakly, signal acquired. High Command would receive her transmission. They would know. She opened the channel, her voice raw. This is Engineer 𝗕𝗲𝘀7 of the Dominion Fleet, survivor of Engagement Delta 9. The human warship Revenant is not crewed. Repeat, not crewed. Static hissed back at her. She swallowed hard, forcing the words out. The boarding entities, they're not soldiers. They're not even alive. They're vessels. Empty armor with something else inside. Something that used to be human. A burst of interference crackled across the line. Then, a voice, High Command. Explain. 𝗕𝗲𝘀7's frills flattened against her skull. I accessed their systems. Briefly, before the pod ejected. The Revenant doesn't have a living crew. It has records, neural imprints, dead warriors uploaded into its core. It's not a ship. It's a tomb, and the things inside it, they're ghosts. Silence stretched. Then, slowly, High Command responded. You're claiming the humans have weaponized their dead. 𝗕𝗲𝘀7's claws dug into the console. Not just weaponized. Perfected. These aren't mindless drones. They're aware, they remember. They hate. Another pause. Then, colder. Your pod's trajectory has been logged. Prepare for retrieval. The channel died. 𝗕𝗲𝘀7 exhaled, her body sagging. They believed her. They would. The pod's proximity alarm shrieked. She whirled toward the screen. The Revenant was gone, but the space where it had been was wrinkling, warping, light bent unnaturally as something vast and unseen gathered energy. Then, a jump signature. Not toward the outer colonies. Not toward any known human stronghold. Toward the core. Toward home. 𝗕𝗲𝘀7's blood ran cold. The Revenant wasn't done. And its next target wasn't just a fleet. It was a world. The core defense grid lit up like a dying star as the Revenant emerged from warp. Every orbital battery, every warship in the home fleet, every planetary shield generator flared to life in unison. The 𝗕𝗲𝘀 High Command had scrambled everything. Thousands of vessels, their weapons locked onto the single, jagged silhouette hanging in the void. Admiral General 𝗕𝗲𝘀 stood on the command platform, his four eyes fixed on the holographic display. This wasn't a battle. It was an execution. Fire. The sky burned. Plasma lances, antimatter warheads, singularity projectors. Every weapon in the 𝗕𝗲𝘀 arsenal converged on the Revenant in a single, annihilating salvo. The detonation shattered nearby monitoring satellites, the feedback nearly overloading the command center screens. Silence. Then the smoke cleared. The Revenant hung there, unscathed. 𝗕𝗀𝘀's claws dug into the railing. How? The tactical officer's voice was hollow. It adapted. Mid-volley. Our weapons changed. The plasma destabilized. The warheads detonated early. It's like it knew. A new alert blared. The Revenant was moving. Not toward the fleet. Not toward the planet. It split. One ship became 3. 3 became 10. 10 became an armada, identical down to the scars on their hulls. Clones? Holograms. 𝗕𝗲𝘀𝘁𝘁 barked. The sensor chief's frills turned ashen. No, they're all real. Same mass, same energy signatures. It's replicating. 𝗕𝗲𝘀𝘁 finished, horror dawning. Then the Revenants fired. Not just kinetics this time. The sky ripped. Gravity itself twisted. Entire ships crumpling like crushed paper. Beams of black light lanced out, severing hulls with surgical precision. Some vessels simply vanished, erased from existence mid-maneuver. The 𝗬𝗲𝘀 fought back. They had no other choice. But every counterattack was anticipated. Every strategy countered before it could be executed. The Revenants moved like a single mind, an unstoppable tide of annihilation. 𝗕𝗲𝘀𝘁 watched as a planetary shield flickered, then failed. The first Revenant descended, not to bombard, not to conquer, to deliver a message. The command center's main screen fizzed life. No face, no voice, just words, scrolling in cold, precise 𝗬𝗲𝘀 script. Asterisk, you burned our cities. You slaughtered our people. You thought us weak. Asterisk, a pause. Then, asterisk, now you know the truth. Asterisk, the transmission ended. The Revenants opened fire on the planet, not on cities, not on military installations, on the core, deep core tectonic destabilizers, human weapons stolen and studied by 𝗬𝗲𝘀 scientists decades ago. The Revenants had turned them back on their creators. The planet shook, then it cracked. 𝗕𝗲𝘀𝘁 had time for one final thought before the shockwave reached the command center. They didn't come to win the war. They came to end the species. The screen went dark. Across the galaxy, the Revenants vanished as suddenly as they had appeared. But their message lingered, whispered in the ruins of fleets, carved into the wreckage of worlds. A warning, a promise. Brace yourselves. The silence after annihilation was the most terrifying sound in the universe. For 3 solar cycles, the galactic Concord observed strict radio silence near the 𝗬𝗲𝘀 core. Scouting drones slipped past the debris fields, their sensors straining for any sign of life. They found none. No distress calls. No escape pods. Just shattered hulls floating in perfect formation, as if the Revenant had arranged the wreckage like some grotesque monument. Then the first transmission sliced through the dark. A single repeating pulse on all frequencies, carrying no encryption, no origin point, just 5 words in every known language. We remember, we wait, we return. The Concord High Council convened within hours. Species at war for millennia now sat shoulder to shoulder in the vaulted chamber, their holographic displays showing the same looping transmission. This isn't a warship, hissed the 𝗕𝗲𝘀 ambassador, tendrils quivering. It's an idea, and ideas don't die when you shoot them. The human delegate remained conspicuously absent. Their seat hadn't been empty since the Concord's founding. Security feeds from the 𝗬𝗲𝘀 homeworld's final moments played on loop. The Revenant's descent, the precision strikes, the way the planet's crust split along geometric fault lines, too perfect, too calculated to be conventional weapons. They didn't just kill them, murmured the crick scientist, adjusting his ocular implants. They erased them. Every data core, every genetic archive, every cultural memory store, targeted and purged with surgical precision. A new alert flashed across the displays. Deep-range scanners had detected an anomaly near the Cerberus Nebula, the site of humanity's first recorded war crime. Energy signatures matching the Revenant flickered in and out of existence. Then 10 more appeared across the galaxy, all near former 𝗬𝗲𝘀 territories, all broadcasting the same message. The 𝗕𝗲𝘀𝘁 admiral finally broke the silence. We voted to abandon humanity when the 𝗬𝗲𝘀 glassed their colonies. We said they were too weak to matter. Her bioluminescent markings pulsed crimson. Now they've shown us what weakness really looks like. The transmission changed. A single image resolved. The Concord chamber itself, live-fed from some unseen angle. Every delegate's face appeared in perfect clarity. Then text scrolled beneath. Judgment comes for all who watched. Screens went dark across the galaxy that night. Not from attacks. From preemptive surrenders. World after world severed their comrades, desperate to escape the Revenant's gaze. Only the humans broke the silence. A single tight beam transmission to the Concord, originating from a derelict station in dead space. Just 2 sentences. You made us into monsters. Asterisk, now see how well we play the part. Asterisk, the station self-destructed before any ships could reach it. In the ashes, scouts found only one artifact. A child's drawing a smiling sun, taped to a cracked viewport. Written beneath in clumsy script. Asterisk, don't be afraid. Asterisk, no one slept well after that. The first pilgrim ship arrived at the edge of dead silence. 3 standard cycles. A single tight beam transmission died. Originating from a derelict station in dead space. Its transmitters remained silent, but every species in the quadrant knew what it carried. Asterisk, now see how well we play the part. Not 𝗕𝗲𝘁. Asterisk, their empire had become cosmic before any ships not Concord officials. In the ashes, they still huddled behind found only one artifact. A child's drawing a smiling sun. Abandoned. Taped to ones who had hidden in asteroid written beneath when the Revenant clumsy script, who had watched through cracked viewports as their oppressors dissolved into screaming atoms. No one slept well after that. They came bearing offerings. Data crystals containing every recorded atrocity committed against humanity. Personal logs of guards who'd shown mercy. Coordinates of hidden research facilities where 𝗕𝗲𝘀𝘁 scientists had experimented on living human nervous systems. They dumped this cargo into the void and fled. The crystals floated for precisely 17 minutes before vanishing. No energy signatures. No tractor beams. Just absence. Then the dream started. Across 100 worlds, diplomats and generals awoke, screaming about a black sun with crimson veins, about whispers in languages no living being could translate, about a voice that wasn't a voice saying, "We accept," in tones that liquefied spinal columns. The Concord's remaining warships formed a defensive sphere around their last capital station. Their shields could withstand supernovas. Their weapons could crack planets. They still jumped at shadows. When the first scout drones ventured back to the dead zone, they found changes. The wreckage had been arranged. 𝗕𝗲𝘀 battleships twisted into perfect fractals. Debris fields forming mathematical constants across millions of kilometers. A gruesome gallery of vengeance rendered in molten metal and frozen corpses. At the center floated a single unmarked pod. Inside rested three things. A perfectly preserved 𝗕𝗲𝘀 command crown, the same one Admiral 𝗕𝗲𝘀 wore when he gave the order to purge humanity's last colony. A human child's neural implant, scrub of all data except 37 seconds of screaming, and a handwritten note on Concord stationery. We would have accepted surrender. Asterisk, you never asked. Asterisk, that night, 17 Concord ambassadors opened their veins. Their suicide notes contained the same phrase. Asterisk, it's coming. Asterisk, no one debated what it was. The Revenant never appeared. No more transmissions came. But every species knew with bone-deep certainty, humanity wasn't done. And the next time they spoke, the galaxy would listen.